What if you could take the power of this entire tree and place it into your bow to use against your opponent? Hello, my name is Michael Glenn, and in this episode of the Dojo Show, we're going to learn how to harness the power of a large tree like this and throw the entire thing at your opponent using the kata Ippon Sugi. So this kata we're doing is part of the ihen sabaki kata. It's called Ippon Sugi. Okay, so James starts off in Seigan. I'm going to start off in Tenchi here, okay, and I attack his toe, do a ashi burai here. After the ashi burai, I flip around and go for do. I think you're too far away, James. You got to stay close in this one. Okay, once more. So here I attack to his foot, ashi burai, flip around, go for do. This flips to the head, and then that flips to the head. Okay? Once more, we can switch sides. Alright, so I'm starting out here in this Tenchi Kamae. Go for his toe. Ashi burai. This flips to do here. I flip to the head here, and then flip to the head there. This first one, I'm aiming for his lead foot, okay? So from this Tenchi position, I want to throw this like I'm throwing a bow shuriken. Okay, so here, okay, that's how, and the idea is to get him to back away from me.
You put it down on the ground?
There's different ways, we'll talk about that in a second. So it starts here from Tenchi, goes for the lead foot, I come here, strike ashi burai, okay? Then this twirls around the head and goes for do, all right? The next piece flips over and goes for the head again, okay? Then I flip it one more time for the head. Okay. When you're doing this from Tenchi here, there's different ways to put it out there, to throw it, to attack. The basic attack, you're aiming for the top of his foot. Okay, but the key is not to hit his foot necessarily. The key is to keep him away from you, to keep him threatened, so you can control the space. Right. So when I do this, I'm doing it like a bow shuriken. I'm using this kind of hand position and body motion to throw it. Okay, so when I throw it here, you see that slam makes James have to move, or else he gets hit in the foot, right? And people move in different ways. Some people will just go to hicho, some will back up, you know, depending on how threatened they feel, right? Yeah. Okay, so the next piece is after you slam it on the ground, how do you get it off the ground to do the next part, right? So there's different approaches to that. One is as you slam this down here, it bounces off the ground. Okay, it's hard to pause that, but James, if you come this way a bit. So as I slam it on the ground, it bounces back into my hand. Okay, once more. So here it bounces back into my hand, and then I just pick it up with this hand for the next piece. Okay, another way is you never let go with the rear hand. Okay, so this left hand, as I slam it, I never let go. Okay, so I slam it here and then come up. Okay, once more. So here, see how I didn't let go of it, and then you come to the next piece. Okay, so those two methods of doing this, and they're both effective in different ways. Okay, give that a shot, please. Okay, so from Tenchi here, I strike low, come for the leg. This flips to do. All right. It's not easy to block, right? This flips to the head, and then again to the head. we'll talk about the targets for these strikes and a little bit of how to deliver them. So this first one I've said already is for the top of the foot, okay? So I'm going here to the top of the foot. I keep the bow in the space between us though, to defend myself, okay? I don't want to strike and then pull it out of the way here and expose myself, okay? So instead I strike and I keep this between us, even as I stand up here, okay? And then I go for the back leg, okay? The ashibarai is to the back leg, okay? So it's back there. The next strike, I bring this up over my head, again keeping the bow between us, right? It always stays between us. So it's here, and then it goes down to do, sorry, not to the leg, to do, okay? So after the strike to do, I'm going to take this end and flip it to his head, okay? And then the last one flips to the head as well. Once more. So to the toe here, this stays between us. Ashibarai towards the back leg, okay? This comes up over my head to do, okay? This flips to his head, and this last one flips to his head, okay? You guys might not have been able to tell, but on the first flip to the head, I held back a little because he's kind of exposed, and it's difficult to block, okay? So let's do one more going the other way. So here I go for his toe, back leg ashibarai, okay? This comes up through the middle here to do, to the head, and then to the head, okay? You guys hopefully notice the whole time I'm keeping this between me and him. That's very important, okay? You want to stay guarded the whole time. All right, try that out. The name of this kata is Ippon Sugi. It means like a lone cedar, okay? So a cedar is a type of tree, right? And you can imagine this is the lone tree standing up on the hill or something, right? So in this kata, I want to have this feeling of taking this cedar and throwing it at him. So every move I'm throwing it. So I throw it here, I throw it here, there I throw it, there I throw it, okay? So each one has this quality of throwing the tree at him, right? I attack to the toe, right? I keep this between us to guard, okay? The ashibarai happens here. Here I throw this tree at him, okay? Once again. So from the ashibarai position, I throw it, okay? Then this piece, again, I'm gonna throw the tree at James, right? So I throw it there, okay? This one, I throw it, okay? This quality of throwing this stick in your motion, right? Just throwing it at your target, at your opponent, makes it very hard for him to defend and block, okay? The stick is coming fast. It's got a free movement quality to it that is hard for him to defend, okay? So you want to work with this feeling of throwing. So again, here to the toe, wrong footwork, here to the toe, ashibarai, I throw the stick, okay? Throw it, okay? You see that kind of freedom that it has, right? So see if you guys can deliver it with some of that freedom. It has this kind of a looping quality to it, okay? So it loops around, it loops around, it loops around, okay?
Is there any arm involved in the throwing?
It's more taijutsu, right? You throw it with your taijutsu. You throw it with your taijutsu. Yeah. You could throw it this way, right? If we're doing henka, you could add other types of throws. All right? Try that out. We've been talking about with all these Bojutsu kata this ihen sabaki, and the ihen that takes place in this kata happens in different aspects. One is in your kamae, okay? I already talked about how you're guarding your center the whole time. So here, like I'm guarding my center still, even before I've done the ashibarai, okay? I come down, right? I'm still guarding my center, right? So then when I go to do the ashibarai, now my center is guarded here. Okay, I come up and do this throw, okay? when I do this next throw, it's going through my center. Okay, so it happens through my center here to guard my center. This throw, again, through my center. So you want to take advantage of that moment when the bow is in transition, this ihen, and you can use that space to move. So here, right, I strike, I go for this ashibarai. When I'm throwing this around, you see how this ihen can change. I saw James went early to block, so I was able to change that, right? Got to keep you in camera. So here, right, when I throw this, it's covering my center here, but I haven't committed to a particular strike. I just pulled up here, okay? So it can come around to do like we've been doing, or it can come up and control the center, okay? Once more. So here, right, I bring this around to do. This one controls the center here. You see my position, how it's controlling the center? Here, right, this comes around. This I throw and I control my center here. Okay. You guys might not have been able to see, but I attacked James's kote there. So here, right. This is controlling the center here. I've trapped James's kote here. So it's hard for him to block the next piece. So I can go for the head, or I can go for the hands, right? I have options at that point, because I've controlled the center. Yeah, keep guard over your center, that's great. Okay, so during this ihen movement that we're doing with the kata, it gives you the opportunity to change what's happening and change the space, okay? So I strike here and do my ashibarai. When I swing this around, you see how this can allow me to press in on James, okay? Once more. So I come here, go for the ashibarai. This strike is normally going to go to do, right? But instead, I can bring it in here to control the space and get in on James. And then all kinds of things can happen after that. So from here, I attack low, ashibarai. This comes up my center. I'm protecting my center here, okay? Once more. So ashibarai here, this comes up the center to go to do here, right? And in this movement to do, I'm still guarding the center. See how I can press in on James's hands here, okay? Then I can take the stick and control. So low, ashibarai here, guarding the center. Normally this goes to do, but I keep guarding the center. And this allows me to get James's hands and control kote here. So then when I stick the bow through, so here I'm going to control the center as I move through the kata. Okay, so I strike low, strike ashibarai. When this comes up, normally I would attack do here, okay? But instead of attacking do, I can use this to move in the center. So I've crowded James's kote here and jammed the sword up. This allows me to strike and pull him and change the tactic. Okay, low to the toe up here. This is controlling the center. Normally it would go around to do here, but I can use it to control the space and shift in. So I've controlled the center and jammed up his sword. From here I can jam this in and take the sword and the stick. It's low, ashibarai up through the center. You see how this has allowed me to crowd him with the stick. Okay, I can use that to change tactics.